This is Noela reporting from the Nostradamus, log number 4, 5 weeks since departure. Mission status is unchanged, transporting Earth's preserved animal DNA to the colony on planet Galileia. Cargo remains secure, ship is stable. Beginning a weekly log right now. This week I wrote a large portion of Neil's screenplay, and for the first time in a while I actually feel good about where it's heading. I now have a full introduction to the story that leads all the way up to the moment Neil is cursed and loses his face. Structurally, it finally feels solid, like the foundation is doing what it's supposed to do. There are still places where I may expand certain scene, add a little more tension or emotional context or just dialogue. But overall, the arc feels right. My next step will probably be organizing a table read with some friends and colleagues to hear the first 20 pages out loud. That's usually when you discover what works and what absolutely does not. If there is interest, I may even record the session and upload it so you can listen in. Outside of that, I spent a lot of time working on a small animation project, doing it entirely on my iPad right now using Procreate Dreams. Since I haven't retrieved my full studio setup from the storage module yet, the storage system on the ship is extensive. Think an enormous warehouse meets floating shipping yard. Everything is numbered and cataloged, but the monitoring interface is currently down, of course. So that means finding anything requires manually going through containers, and it could take weeks. David assured me that the system bug should be fixed within the next couple of weeks, but we'll see. Like he said that like a few weeks ago. Once that's resolved, we'll be able to look at the right container and retrieve the equipment I need. Most of my studio gear won't actually be necessary until we arrived on Galileia, so it's not a major issue, just slightly inconvenient for someone like me who's trying to animate while in space. I also spent some time cleaning up my personal website this week. Apparently, the body font was inconsistent across multiple pages, which made the whole website look very unprofessional, to be honest. So I went through it and standardized everything, just tweaking the fonts on every page to make sure it's consistent. If you've never visited my website before, feel free to check it out once the transmission reaches Earth with the update. There is a lot of work archived on there, so it's always fun to look and see things you may have missed that are not on the other channels. And for the record, I'm still looking for remote work, so even in space you need to pay for the bills. I also work on a sample page for Lovatoire this week. It's still a very, very rough stage of it, but I'm aiming for a clean dynamic action, something inspired by the work of Glenn Murakami. His ink work is just incredible. The way he uses negative space to define motion and composition is just spectacular. It's something I've always admired. If I can capture even a small fraction of that energy into my pages, I'll be, thrilled. Life on board continues. David and I spent part of the week tweaking a few systems around the ship. Nothing major, just routine adjustments. At the moment, however, I need to intervene in a developing situation in the cabin. I can hear my daughter has discovered the cat's tail, and she's been pulling on it extremely recently. So I should probably go check on that before the cat scratches her. So see you next time. Ship remains on course, AI pilot functioning within normal barometer, cargo is stable, all crew members and pets accounted for. This is Noela from the Nostradamus, signing off.